Okay, I really wasn't even supposed to make a video today. I really just felt called to come on here and talk about a few things. Recently on my TikTok page, I've been talking about trauma a lot, and I just felt called to come on here and also talk about it. And eventually I do want to make a more in-depth video with, scientific, and be able to pull some books that I've read and just different things. But for today, I kind of just want to allow whatever downloads and whatever to flow through me and just be able to give the message that I'm getting. So a long time ago, 7 years ago, when I first went through my awakening, I came across a lady named Dolores Cannon. And she really was the one who helped me shift my perspective from just not understanding why I had to go through certain things as a child to understanding, right? She talked about how we choose things before coming here. And, I was already into reincarnation, and I was studying even Stevenson. He studied reincarnation for 40 years and so many other people. And so it was really something I'd already aligned with. And she had talked about how when we come here, it's because we need to learn lessons, and that Earth is a school of lessons. And when we have to come back, it's because we didn't get it right with people. And, you always hear people talk of being in this life, but it being in different forms, right? So your mom might be your sister in this new life or whatever. And I found what she said to resonate with me so much. And, I want to talk about how a lot of the times when we go through things, it can be super hard, and we never want to forgive, and we always think about but think about it like this. Okay, I always say we have a blueprint to our life, and just like you have a blueprint to a building and it shows everything that's in there and all these things, the same thing is for us, right? We choose the people we're going to come in here with, we choose the relationships. And I don't think that doesn't mean free will, right? I think your higher self, I think time is just an illusion. It doesn't work the same way we think. So your higher self always knows what you're going to do, but you still have that free will in this moment, right? And that's why you have to always come back if you don't get these things right with people, if you do something you said you weren't going to do, if you don't follow that blueprint. I think that's the reason for coming back. And I think we come here to reach Christ conscious, right? Christ consciousness. So if you're not in a place of forgiving and love, you're not reaching Christ consciousness, right? And I know that it's super hard, and I'm not trying to come on here and say that I understand what you've gone through, but I will say I, in my own life, have gone through a lot, and I don't really want to make a video about it today. I hope to one day be able to go in depth and feel comfortable and share just what I've gone through in my own journey, but that's not what today's video is about. But when I was young, I really had a hard time. I really had a hard time feeling loved, and I really had a hard time understanding why I had to go through what I had to go through, just from both sides of my parents. And when I heard her talking, it truly, truly, truly opened up my eyes to just so much. And I also having my daughter. So those two combined really helped me be able to, not come from ego anymore. I stopped just thinking about and I was like, okay, our parents and my parents are also going through their own journeys. What they have to learn and what they need, and their own journey is not for me to act like I would never do that thing either, right? I don't know. I'm not in their situation. And anytime I do act like that, the universe slaps me in the face with the same situation, and very much lets me know that, you never know what somebody's going through, and that you could very much make the same decision. So to not be judgmental. And it was really so eye-opening for me and I remember just getting so emotional. This whole process of spiritual awakening is just emotional in general, but I remember just being so sad because I was like, okay, I just don't want to forgive my parents, and I'm still holding on to this anger because I think we just do that. We hold on to these things and we don't realize we have the power to not let those things control us, and we have the power to transmute that. That's what life's all about, is alchemy, and being able to really look at the situation you're in and look at the positive and look at what it's teaching you or teaching somebody else. So I say all that to say if you have something in your life that's extremely hard to forgive, and maybe you had parents or loved ones or a significant other or ex or anything that has just done you wrong and you don't understand, I know it's hard to think that maybe you chose that before coming here, but really just sit and think about that. And of course, when you come here, you're going to forget those things. You would never remember. That wouldn't even make sense. I don't think it would make life fun or anything. There would be no evolving if you just came down here and you automatically knew what to do and you had these memories and you wouldn't learn and you wouldn't make those decisions with good intentions. You would do it because you know you have to. So the whole reason we come here, right, Earth is a lesson, school of lessons, is to evolve, to look at those situations and to be able to get through them with your loved ones, not jump on the bandwagon of everybody hating their parents and let me just not talk to them for the rest of my life, but truly being able to be the one in your family, the generational curse breaker, and to say, no, this is what we do. This is how we heal. This is how we love. This is how we forgive. Be an example in your family of how that looks like and what that looks like, right? A lot of the times your parents don't even know what that looks like. They haven't gotten that themselves. And, it's just this cycle of everybody just hurting each other because they're hurt. And so, really just understanding that, we really do choose. And, it's like this. So let's say me and you are up there, back into consciousness, right? Because I think our bodies are temporary. So I think our consciousness, our soul, whatever you want to say, very much continues afterwards. So we're up there wherever. I don't know where I think this is. I think it's just the knowing, the all-knowing, and that's why you don't really think from ego. But anyways, we're up there, right? And you walk past me, and I'm talking about how, dang, I have to go back and I have to learn this lesson that I didn't learn. And, I didn't learn forgiveness. We'll just say they're like steps in a game or levels in a game. I didn't learn forgiveness, and I have to come back. And you overhear me, and you're like, oh, don't worry. I don't mind going back with you and treating you bad and us going through this thing. I don't mind doing that to you. And that sounds so crazy. Only when you come back, only when you think from ego perspective, right? From I. But when you understand the bigger picture and you understand that everything is happening for a reason, maybe not just for you, but for everyone, so that everyone can grow and everyone can understand and just go through their own journey the way that they're supposed to, it makes it so much easier to understand how bad happens in the world. And, it will always be bad, right? It's just the duality. There is no growing without bad. Everything can't just be love and good and these things. That's not how that works, right? We are all light and dark. And, really shifting your perspective and understanding that nobody's perfect, right? We are all here to learn, and I know it's so hard to forgive people. Trust me. I was in a place in my life where even when I was younger, I would always just pretend. I would always pretend like I forgave my parents and act like everything was okay, and I always go to school like nothing happened, right? I was the kid that I'm not talking to people about what's going on. I wasn't that kid. I'm not that one to just, as soon as I meet you, tell you everything that's going on in my life. I don't like to do that. I never have been. So a lot of what I did was just suppress. And you don't realize that is really embedded in your nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system. And when people talk about these triggers, it is a real thing, right? Scientifically proven. And I'll make another video just to go in depth more. But you have to understand that those things are in your system. So when something comes up, although you don't remember and it's not a memory at the forefront of your brain, your body, your nervous system remembers these things, and it gets triggered and you start to feel it. And that's why a lot of people have addictions, right? I'm only 2.5 weeks in of not smoking weed, and I've been addicted. I just have an addictive personality, and I know that stems from me needing to heal. And there will always be parts of you that you need to continue to heal. But I will say, for me, it was doing just these deep meditations, right? I would do what they call inner child meditations. And, you close your eyes and you truly visualize. I felt like I was going to get a little emotional just then. You truly visualize your inner child, who you were as a child. Put her right there at your brain. Put her right there in your picture. and talk to her. I would do these meditations where I would tell her it's okay and you're going to be crying. Trust me. It is this purge. It is these moments. But it is so important to allow these things to be released out of your body, to not hold them in, and to give them the space and the attention that they need, but not to hold on to that. And it's a great lady named Tara Bark, I'm pretty sure her name. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but she came up with a method called RAIN, and I recently was talking about this on my TikTok. It's R is recognize. So when you get a trigger or this emotion or anxiety or anything that comes up in your body, use the RAIN method. Recognize why that emotion is coming up, analyze it, investigate it, right? Why is this happening? And then nurture it. Nurture it so that it can be released out of the body. Do anything you need to do, but the first step is truly healing. And once you do that, then I think it's easier to forgive, right? But for me, really understanding and not just being in this victim mindset and wanting to understand and wanting to forgive, right? Because if you're just going around your family and you want to be able to tell all your friends, oh, I don't have a good relationship with anybody, and you want to be this victim and you want to just say all these things, you're never going to get to where I'm talking about, right? It's just not going to happen. You're literally resisting it, and you're wanting to hold on to these things. And I get that it's hard, and I'm not trying to act like I know what you've gone through or anything like that. But what I am saying is that we all hold the capacity within us to have empathy, to have understanding, to understand that you don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what they've gone through in their own life to make them be able to make the decisions they've made or have the mindset that they have. So for me, being able to be the bigger picture, being able to be the bigger person is truly powerful. To be able to be that generational curse breaker in your family, to say, no, this is what we do. I'm going to show you how to forgive, how to love, how to truly be this person that is filled with love for everyone, and to be more Christ conscious. And it is very easy to follow in your parents' footsteps and to be angry and to be all these things. And just, even if you have relationships, exes, anybody, don't look at those things as negative. Everything you're going through in life is to teach you a lesson, right? And often in my life, I've constantly watched cycles repeat themselves. And it's because I didn't learn the lesson, right? So they'll show up in new forms, new people, different ways. And it isn't because, right, why is life happening to me? No, why aren't you looking at what it's trying to teach you and learning? It's going to keep presenting itself to you. It has to. You have to learn the lesson. It's like a video game. It's like you can't go to the next level if you don't learn this. And, that helped me so much. And it just helps me every single day go through anything that I'm going through. Truly looking at what it's trying to teach me. Your higher self is never, right? Never. And I repeat that again, never not on your side. So I know that today you might be like, okay, why did this happen? Why did I just get evicted? Or why did this, whatever it could be. I just used that. That was a dramatic thing. I'm sorry. But anything that's happening, truly look at it and understand that it's for the best. It is teaching you something, and you need to learn the lesson. And, I didn't know how today's video is going to go. And I just wanted to really come on here and say that we can't always come from a place of ego, right? Carl Jung talks about this, Sigmund Freud too. I'm just not the biggest fan of Sigmund Freud. But Carl Jung talks about how we have the ego. And I know y'all hear this all the time, but it is so true. When you're constantly thinking about I, why did this happen to me? Why did my family do this to me? Why did my ex do this to me? Why did this person pull out in front of me at the stop sign? Why did this? You're always going to have negative experiences and never see the bigger picture. But until you can look from the whole, right, Carl Jung, the collective consciousness, right, then you will start to understand that it is all happening for a reason. Everything is simultaneously happening for a bigger picture to help us all evolve, because we're all collectively connected. And yeah, I really don't know where my life would be if I didn't forgive those in my life, and if I still had this hate and rage. And you have to remember, guys, when you hold on to these things, when you're angry in your heart and you don't forgive your parents and you're holding on to this emotion and these things, that is very much embedded into your body. And this is where diseases come from, right? There's so many books written on how disease is stemmed from trauma. And it is so important to heal the inside of you, right? So that the outside of you can blossom and flourish. And yeah, so that's really all I wanted to say. I really didn't want to make today's video too long. I just really felt called to come on here and talk about that a little bit. But yeah, understanding that you are much bigger than what you've gone through. And, you know, maybe, just maybe, we do choose everything before coming here, even though that can be so hard to understand. And trying to look at the bigger picture and truly learning to love and forgive, it is key. And perspective is everything, right? You can always say, why did this happen to me? Or you can always say, what is this teaching me? Or what is this teaching somebody else? And so, yeah. Thank you if you stayed this far and watched. I truly appreciate it. When y'all comment and like, it means the world to me, you know. And I be seeing y'all that do watch and don't like and stuff like that. I be like having 7 likes and I'm like, something ain't adding up. But that's okay. I can't, free will. We can't force anybody. But if you're not, follow me on my TikTok, Ashley Eckerly _ I do post every day. I love to post on there. It's just so much quicker and fun. And, you know, so many like-minded people. But yeah, thank you if you stayed and watched, and I hope y'all have the best week. And remember that, you know, your mind is creating your reality. Your inner world is creating your outer world. And yeah, you are so powerful, and it's even more powerful to be loving and forgiving and to not be jump on the bandwagon like everybody else, and to be angry and full of hate and to always come from that place. So yeah.